main of forensic medicine for 1 decade. Now on the desk of medical superintendent at Bankura Community Medical College and Hospital. The topic is ethical consideration in clinical research. The stage is for Dr. Santoshi Chatterjee.
Thank you and a very good morning. So এখানে হঠাৎ করে লেখা করে আসছিলাম আমি দেখলাম অনেকে ঘুরে দেখছি I think it was very good philosophy because I asked a question why GCP কেন আমরা GCP করছি NMC বলছে প্রমোশন ক্রাইটেরিয়া তো লাগবে না অনলাইনে অনেকে জয়েন করেছে and people are very confused so the same question was being asked in Jhargram Mathura NRS and every time the same answer came it's mostly for the certificate because at the end of the day, NMC not yet a mandatory criteria, but in certain ways, maybe after 2 or 3 years in a certain future, one fine morning, the person sitting in the AC room will tell you with a very common topic. I push that alone. Let's make GCP much more fundamental. So it's all about GCP being fundamental and consider a promotional criteria getting in the next 2 to 3 years for our promotions. So I'm not going to take much more time. We're going to go for the next 15 minutes of slides on the technical issues. And the question and the inter-presentation starts with the question. An ethical dilemma or ethical issue. A common topic. Because one fine morning I was in Lucknow, a 16-year-old girl, she was unmarried. A 16-year-old girl, she was unmarried. And she came up with a bump in her abdomen. She was pregnant for 7 weeks. She has conceived for 7 weeks. And her parents came to us with the requisition that they need an abortion. So the question was, a 16-year-old girl, she was pregnant, was carrying for 7 weeks, and her parents, just because her age was below 18 years, was continuously arguing whether we can go for the abortion. The question to the learned participants, what should we do? 16 years priority or their her parents? Anything, any answers from the participant? Anything? 16 বছরের মেয়ে এদিকে বাবা মা বলছে ভাই 18 বছর হয়নি অ্যাবর্শন করতে হবে মেয়ে বলছে আমি চাইছি ক্যারি করতে কেন দেব না সিঙ্গেল মাদার ইজ আ ভেরি আপকামিং সাবজেক্ট কেস বললাম না বলে any other answers? At that time, the Supreme Court judge came with the verdict as a part of the inquiry committee just because the 16 years old girl is looking at abortion. If we go for an abortion, it will result into a huge mental setback. She was healthy enough to carry the child, and she has given the consent, knowing all the consequences. The abortion told ki hote pare, at a mental setback ki hote pare. The girl was allowed to carry her child, and still now she's right now at 26 years with a very healthy child. I call her my girlfriend, Rosie. So we are all together just because this is a fact. This is called ethical dilemma. Gaड़ी चालक से शॉर्ट में हमार सुंदर गर्लफ्रेंड আছে উত্তর দিকে রাস্তা দিয়ে সুন্দর দিয়ে হেঁটে আসছে গাড়ি স্পিডে যাচ্ছে আমি কি করব তখন মেয়েটাই ভাবতে হবে আর বেশি করে ব্রেক করতে she is going to die. These are all ethical dilemmas we discuss in there. Can we have a কথা বলছে because the entire topic of discussion today for next 10 to 15 minutes will be covering what the ethical issues, not the unethical, the ethical issues in clinical research. So first, come up with the first topic, clinical trial. Clinical trial. We are talking about clinical trials this morning. So the first thing, the question देखते बच्चे ना, one human being will name it the taking some lab results, some biological fluids, and some data. So clinical research actually human being. Number two, some biological fluids. It may be urine samples, it may be blood samples, and some data. Data we have a cluster of all these three. I mean, कोणत्या एक काज करले we call it a clinical trial. ठीक है question to the learned participants. Human being, নাকি তার biological fluid, নাকি তার সম্বন্ধে যে data generated, huge amount of data that's getting generated. All the three, anything related to human beings, which may be the person as a whole, it may be his or her biological fluids or samples, it may be the data generated from him or her. All comes under clinical trials. So now there are three questions. We can see Sachin, we can see Messi, and we can see obviously Madhukar. Who's similarity is Messi, Madhukar, Sachin, and সবাইকে পুজো করা হয় কি that's the right answer. Anything more, being a much more into numerology. all take very good all take কেন আমরা বলি যখনই আমরা ethical issues বলি we all concentrate upon the 10 commandments 10 commandments কি বলছিল and you all know being a forensic person has always stressed on the one is on consent so basically consent is কিছু personal বলবো আছে সেটা হচ্ছে আমরা খুব common কিছু scenarios we have faced for example in a particular scenario for example in Beta for medical college a person came with some hernial growth. At the time, she was not operated, but she has given her consent in the year 2020. Again, she came up today in the year 2023, also the principal, joined being the MSBT. So, is there any necessary to take a very fresh consent? With the operation to make consent, at that time, the operation was not done. So, is it much more feasible to take another consent in 2023? Yes or no? Yes. For example, after what happened, people are so Devanjan was very confirmed this way, he's confident, sitting on there. He said, obviously, we should go and we should drop and should have a party in the jungle. She will go and go to the now, like, Javana, more than some children in Javana, because you people are not just prepared. He just go and ask the police. I said, maybe it's all that. We got these trees and consent. Devanjan as the yes, people as the no, or I need the maybe. Contact or consent. Yes. It also being the no. Consent doesn't mean always a positive vibe. It also comes under negative vibes. Can you go now? See, same goal for Bhuti Desha, Julia Karibu Sunduri, our Mohila police. So someone the other I said yes or maybe a bit confused. But the thing is that consent means you should be either yes or no. It's nothing in between. It's nothing but maybe. To common example, for a cover of just for a few seconds, very low. The informed consent talking about informed consent, we should cover the 8 points. These 8 points are very important. Number one, our teacher the research description. Number two, what are the various adverse effects of SAEs or risks that may appear from the research? There are certain benefits you should explain to him or her. If he is not going to take the treatment, what are the other alternatives? Is there any medical protocol other than surgical? Confidentiality will be covered once again, how to maintain our privacy and confidentiality. There are compensations. Compensation. We need to provide him or her with the context, that is the mail ID or the phone number. And obviously, the most important thing, the consent or something she is allowed to do, participate in the research voluntarily, or she can withdraw her. So these are the 8 important ones that should be written in any informed consent, because we being a forensic person, when we deal with these evidences in the criminal research, we only pursue through these 8 points. Number one, research. Number two is number three, access to alternatives. 5, confidentiality. 6, compensation. 7, context. And last but not the least, the consent that is informed consent. Risk versus benefit. Any research will always weigh between the risk and benefit. I want to research the benefits are much more than the risk. We are not going to do that. So how can we differentiate between these three? There are 4 different types. For example, we are talking about some public data, census, 2021 census that we are going to. For example, going for a meta-analysis. Or some anonymous data. We are going on the data, very anonymous data. So in this anonymous data, we call this no personal risk. We call it less than minimal risk. So what is the role of IEC? IEC, that is institutional ethics committee. It's a very common misnomer in number of places. People call it an ethical committee. It's not ethical. It's ethics committee. It's institutional ethics committee. It's not ethical committee. So the only role of ethics committee is that okay, chalo, this should no relation to exemption from review. Then what are the minimal risks? After there is a very common early clinical exposure. Common term is ECE, first year word area, we are actually seeing patients, taking history. As soon as they can prescribe chest x-rays. So these are nothing but very minimal risk and it is a expedited review. I'm going to quickly review the session. But the last 2 things are very important, which are considered as low risk or high risk. Low risk when we are taking blood samples or taking very new diagnostic tests for pregnancy. Similarly, high risk whenever invention, invasive procedure. In the last 2 cases, as we call it a PIN, we call it a full committee review. The most important thing that when you are talking about any anonymous data, no review is required. When we are talking about history and something which is not invasive, non-invasive, we are giving some investigations like chest X-ray or maximum CT scan, MRI. mind the language, non-invasive, then it is expedited review. Anything which comes under the invasive procedure, it's all under a full committee review. Privacy and confidentiality. এটা আমরা পরে আমি ডিসকাস করব। Just one important point to note about this point. Privacy is all about the individual. Local নিজের সম্বন্ধে together. I'm giving a very odd examples. It's not like this, for example, a person is suffering from HIV, a person is suffering from syphilis, a person is suffering from hepatitis A, B, C, or anything of the other. We are not allowed to divulge the data because these are our own property, individual property. Individual is equal to privacy. And anything generated from the individual, for example, the data which are getting from the individual and how we should collect it, how we should store it, and how we should share it, it comes under confidentiality. Confidentiality is our norm, individuality or privacy is our norm. Justice. আমরা বারবার করে চারটে পিলার দেখেছি স্যার বলছেন শুনলাম অটোনমি ল্যান্ড বেনিফিশিয়ারিজ and obviously justice. What is the word justice? Justice মানে GCP এর common question. সবাই আমরা GCP এর পড়েছি basic course in biomedical research আমাদের সময় সাইকোলজিতে দেওয়া 23 মডিউল আমাদের 25 মডিউল ছিল। What is the justice? মানে justice মানে everyone from the parts justice. What is justice?
বলতে হবে এমএস স্কিম আছে এগুলো সব আচ্ছা থাকলে
research but not going to distribute them by any caste or any creed or any religion or any race or any color. যে আসলে যে বলে এগুলি পার্টিসিপেশন দেবে
তোমার এসেছিল হ্যাঁ বলছে
we should distribute it equally. That is all population. Should be examples. You can get it for getting a better payments. I think easy. Payments allowed in clinical trials. Payment কি আমরা কোনো কাউকে ফর এক্সাম্পল কলকাতা বসে আছে আমার সময় একটা বাঁকুড়া ফিল্ড কোনো সময় ভাই যখন বাঁকুড়া ফিল্ড আমি আবার রক্ত দিলে কত রিস্ক আছে উইল হেল্প ইউ অ্যাকচুয়ালি আমি শিবশঙ্কর ফ্রম ঝাড়গ্রাম শোভন ফ্রম পুরুলিয়া এন্ড এখানে জব করছি উই আর ডুইং ফর এন মাল্টিভেরিয়েট রিসার্চ আমরা কোডে করব কলকাতা রক্ত দিবে আমি সব দাদা কোনো ব্যাপার না যাওয়ার সময় ডক্টর 500 টাকাটা দিয়ে দেব ইজ ইট হোয়াট আই এম ডুইং ইজ ইট লিগ্যাল অর illegal টাকা দেওয়ার পরে পুরো ইলিগাল তাই তো টাকা কি কখনো ক্রিমিনাল ট্রায়ালে দেওয়া যায় ইয়েস অর কখন দেওয়া what value right for example কলকাতা থেকে গাড়ি নিয়ে আসে না ওরা আমি ড্রাইভ করছি একটু বেশি বক্সিং ড্রাইভ করে নাম্বার ভালো কলকাতা অ্যাক্সিডেন্ট ও কিন্তু আমি ওকে নিয়ে যাচ্ছিলাম দাওয়াতে আমার হাতে রক্ত লোক আই ওয়াজ জাস্ট অ্যাক্টিং অ্যাজ আ মস্কিটো তখনই কলকাতা হাত ধরা টাকাটা ফেলে আমি তো রাইস করছিলাম আগে ইনটক্সিকেশন এটা আমার দোষ হয় ইনটক্সিকেশন গাড়ি চালানো তো 30 বার আমার ইনটক্সিকেশন দেবে সেটা কি আমার দোষ ইন্টিগ্রেট বিষয়টা তুমি কাজ করবে এটা কি আমার দোষ so the thing is that the what compensation comes under only to know as far as the CPI goes আমরা কোন কোন সময় তবে একদম আপনারা ঠিক নাম্বার 1 ফার্স্ট শুনতে দিন যে লোকটা যখন আমার কাছে রিসার্চ সেন্টারে সিপিআর করতে আসছে তোমরা যে এক্সপ্রেস করতে ফর এক্সাম্পল এখানে কেউ পড়াশোনা থেকে আসছে for example এখানে কেউ কত ক্লিয়ার টু বাদ আসছে তাহলে তো 10 টাকায় খরচ করতে but we should always provide with the monetary value of this family and last what is investigation মানে whenever we are going for any research curiosity develops certain problems only for my research আমি এখন ভালো আপনি ব্লাড টানলাম তাদের মধ্যে একটা বড় সড় একটা হিমাটোমা তৈরি হচ্ছে it comes because of the research so any investigation which is required as a result of any essay or serious sample
কি বলছে ভালো কিছু চালু এটা আমাদের দেখবি টেস্ট দিতে হবে তো লাস্ট আমি কি বার হাজার টাকা আমি বলবো লাস্টে কত টাকা নিয়ে তো সবাই মিলে একটা ডিভাইড করে
but the only word you should always follow for compensation is that it is most important. Essay full forms are serious adverse effects. Any SAE, it should be reported to IEC, that is Institutional Ethics Committee. Within 24 hours. Number two, we should
compensation দিতে হবে বাবা।
why this SAE came up all of a sudden? We need to research on it. We need to form a committee. And the report should be submitted within 14 days. So there are three important things we should always consider upon. If there is any SAE, we should generate the report and submit it to IEC, inform to IEC within 24 hours. The report as a result of the causal relationship within 14 days, and also SAE টা হলো কি করব রাস্তায় বেশি ওটা হয় ইয়ার তো অপরচুনিটি আমার টাইম তো নেই নো we should keep more because I have just been told that data only due to travel or due to investigation. So when medical service,
চলো কোথাও ঘুরতে যাই লালমন্ডি যাই ব্লগে
but if I want to give him or her some additional services because he or she has participated voluntarily, তখন আমাদের কি করতে হবে buy one get one free offer সামনে আমি পুরো নেই Christmas cost conflict very good thing conflicts আমরা প্রায় যখন research materials দেখি we always write a COI conflict of interest there is no conflict of interest fundamentally there is no funding any examples what is called a conflict of interest any example তাকে আমরা বলি COI or conflict of interest try to দেখি there is no conflict of interest there is no funding from other agencies what is conflict of interest any idea of conflict of interest আমিও জানতাম না পড়ার আগে আমিও জানতাম আমিও লিখতাম বলতে বলতে জানতাম this for a very common for example taking money from the participant this here coaching free medicine free medicine or free service receiver he or she is giving big money number 2 যে এজেন্সি স্পন্সর করছে তার কাছ থেকে আমি টাকা নিই না ইজ ভেরি ইজি নাম্বার 2 যে এজেন্সিকে স্পন্সর টাকা আমি এখন ইনভেস্ট যা ইচ্ছা করতে পারি সেখানে আমার এসআইপি করা সেখানে এসআইপি তো পারি না আমি তোমাকে স্পন্সর দিস আর অল এক্সাম্পলস অফ কনফ্লিক্ট অফ ইন্টারেস্ট সি ইজ দেয়ার শুড বি কলিজ whenever you call sponsor what we do basically we go for quotations and tender any amount below 1 lakh we দেখা যায় টাকাটা we go for quotations any amount above 1 lakh we go for tenders rather e-tender এরকম হলো যে কোম্পানি আমাকে স্পন্সর করছে সেই কোম্পানিতে আমি বোর্ড মেম্বার সেখানকারই আমি সিইও কারণ আমার ভেস্টেড ইন্টারেস্ট থাকে these are all examples of common examples of conflict of interest for example অদ্ভুত করে পপুলেশন চলে গেল আমরা চলে গেলাম কোন একটা এরিয়া and we are acting on the tribal population ইসিলিয়ে একটা কথা রেজিস্ট করতে হবে one thing very important reason that whenever you want to work on the tribal populations you should take a consent from that the answer was tribal there as per the DCPR was concerned it's very recently changed and we call it for any work on vulnerable population we should take the consent from this very new terms very recently they're coming into the market number 1 we call it CAN and CAN that's community advisory board or community advisory group these two things are the persons who are going to give us consents last to end of the case আমাদের এটা মাথায় রাখতে হবে there are four important things we should always follow to avoid any pillars four pillars কি ছিল আর এর মধ্যে এটা কি শুরু করেছিলেন number 1 autonomy মানে আমার voluntary participation I want to participate in my own will if I want to withdraw from the study আমরা ভালো study তে participate করব একবার already have given my consent I can also take out my consent it's called consent withdrawal beneficiaries we know we are not going to do anything bad we do only good so they are almost interchangeable and non-beneficiaries we are not going to do anything bad justice একটু আগে বললাম equilateral distribution between all caste creed tribes population these are the four pillars so recap শেষ হয়ে গেছে আমরা দর্শক বলি আমাদেরকে এবার লাস্ট এবারে কি জানলাম আমরা কি রিক্যাপ করছি নাম্বার 1 হচ্ছে আমরা সবাই জানলাম consent consent এর one more important thing হচ্ছে informed consent একটু পরেই বলবো it has got 8 important parts শিবশঙ্কর মাহাতো বলবেন যে প্যাক্সেল ভলিউম প্যাথোলজিস্ট জন্য ইম্পর্টেন্ট consent আমাদের জন্য আমাদের PCU ইম্পর্টেন্ট data provided. P হচ্ছে providing adequate data. C is comprehension. কাকে বলছি এমন ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজে বলছি এমন ভাবে লিখছি সে ওটা বুঝতে পারছে that is C and V means obviously voluntary participation. Benefit is আমরা সবাই জানলাম if it's basically less than minimal or minimal that are very few reviews but if it has got some low risk or high risk we should go for a full term. Privacy confidential will be discussed later, but privacy means individual, confidential means data generated from the person. Distributive justice, we all know that we means actually diverse study amongst all the mass of population without any caste, creed, gender, or any violations. Payment can be given in only two cases. Number one, charitable, and number two, we can also give if there's investigational values. Compensation basically just only two words we should remember. Reporting to the IEC 24 hours and we should generate the report within 14 days. It's a forensic part. Ancillary care তখন ধরবো আমরা যখন হচ্ছে আমরা কিছু এক বেনিফিশিয়ারি তাদেরকে দেবো ফর এক্সাম্পল কোন মাসলা হচ্ছে আমি আপনাকে প্যারাসিটামল 650 দিচ্ছি conflict of interest আমরা সবাই জানলাম we are not going to take any money from the participants or from the sponsors we can't be the board members of the sponsoring company we don't have a SIP it's always easy to avoid this by going for the quotations and tenders. Vulnerable population, the only consenting authority being the CAT, that is the community advisory board and community advisory group. Pillars chapter actually all know number one, autonomy, number two, beneficiaries, number three, non-beneficiaries, and last but not least, justice. So that's all from my side. Any questions from the audience? Any questions about this entire session? About these ethical issues? 40% I was Thank you for that. Thank you very much for my friends. Thank you. Get elected for the next competition. Thank you once again. Yes, ma'am.
Department is so I will do this. Matter is that politics is probably
online question
the piece they don't get on with the then the consent is most important. We can't select the person in the department without these formats. We understand this. We could take that one from the IC. IC that is good as far as I mean, to keep the physical investigator. Always keep the ball in the court of IC. Don't use the selection. If we can prove there is any benefit to this ratio.
Coordination festival going करके इधर उससे ये job after date of that person if you have an answer you can't do anything but आमी data space को ना उधर on the within parallel zone it doesn't take people to
section as well medical medical examination course I mean getting some data on the person I'm going to each of different for the basis of the specific to it. Fails to be a perfect. I can put the book of one was an emergency procedure. What I have done is mostly what I use for. It has not put
Yeah.